I have it on good authority. People other than Tiger Woods are also making news these days. Seriously, a whole bunch of them. And one of them is actually the President of the United States. Go figure. Here with me now are Stephanie Miller, host of The Stephanie Miller Show, and Arianna Huffington, co-founder and managing editor of HuffingtonPost.com. Welcome, ladies. Okay, so President Obama picked up his Nobel Peace Prize today, and here's part of his acceptance speech.
I come here with an acute sense of the costs of armed conflict, filled with difficult questions about the relationship between war and peace and our effort to replace one with the other.
Call me crazy, but war and peace are oxymoronic, if I may say.
That's why they wrote a book about it.
Yes. And so how do you think that he did addressing the assembled, since he just, is escalating the war in Afghanistan, he's picking up a peace prize? I don't get it.
I know. I thought Kanye West might interrupt him and try to take the prize, but that did not happen. Joy, to me, I get your point, but I just feel like these are two giant messes that he inherited from Bush. I mean, everybody knows that. He didn't start these wars. He's trying to finish them. And I'm of the camp to give him the benefit of the doubt. I understand the arguments against it, but, the president's been right, I think, on a few things so far. The CBO is showing he's been right on the stimulus. I think he's right on health care. And I say give him the benefit of the doubt. Give him a chance to finish this war.
I'm a huge fan of his, Arianna, and so are you, I know. But this sounds crazy to me, that he's getting a peace prize for this. I don't get it. Tell me what you think.
Well, Joy, I think that the irony, the supreme irony of this, first of all, was addressed in his speech, when he said that he is a product, in a way, of the moral force of Martin Luther King's non-violent response to what was happening. But that he said then that he is the head of state, and therefore he needs to address threats to the American people. And this is really the problem, Joy. He has not defined those threats. There is no way that he has actually explained to the American people why escalating the war in Afghanistan is going to make us less safe. There is absolutely no explanation for that. We are going after the Taliban. We've been told we only have 100 Al-Qaeda members left in Afghanistan, that the danger is in Pakistan, and yet we are escalating in Afghanistan. It doesn't make sense. It's really illogical, and that's the fundamental problem.
Even the Dalai Lama is pissed off at him. He says that he's been, how bad do you have to be to piss off the Buddhists? But he says that
he's
some of his...
notoriously catty, the Dalai Lama.
He is so vicious. But, he says that his advisors are advising him incorrectly, so he sort of lets him off the hook a little bit. What do you think about that?
I think the Nobel is
he right?
let's face it, Joy, the Nobel it's the not George Bush prize. And I think, frankly, there should be a prize for not being George Bush. And this is it.
So I would go along with that.
I think it's important for people who obviously supported Obama, like we all did, to actually be really clear-cut about what he's doing right and what he's not. I think this is our job. It's not our job to be cheerleaders. Cheerleading did not work very well in the 8 years of the Bush administration. So let's not fall into that trap right now.
But Arianna, he did say during the campaign that he was going to go into Afghanistan. He didn't pretend that he wasn't. So,
And by the way, Arianna, who are you calling a cheerleader? Give me an O. Give me a B. Give me an A. Okay. No, I agree. I agree, and I get your point. Look, this is a tough one for me. As a liberal, I'm not a fan of war. As a woman, I'm not a fan of the Taliban. If we could perhaps airlift anything with a vagina out of Afghanistan, I'd be fine with a total.
This has nothing to do with being anti-war. This has something to do with whether this is a necessary war or a war of choice.
Right.
And it is a war of choice, and wars of choice are by definition immoral. It was a necessary war back in 2001 when Osama bin Laden
but
that ship has sailed. But that ship has sailed, and let's not pretend it hasn't.
Okay, let's move on. I want to talk about Glenn Beck. He's constantly telling his viewers to buy gold and has ads running during his shows. But what's interesting is that Beck is a paid pitchman for a gold firm called Goldline. Isn't this a conflict of interest, ladies? And why do people buy it?
I think a bigger issue, Joy, they might want to look into is that he's crazy.
But
He's completely crazy.
well, he's crazy like a fox, and he's a very rich, crazy guy if he's just crazy. So I don't totally accept that he's crazy.
Well, I love that the implication is there's some sort of ethical standard at Fox News. That's what I think.
Yeah,
the funny thing
well,
you're
that may
implying.
be the mistake.
Yeah.
But, you know, Ariana, he never discloses to his audience that he's a paid spokesperson for Goldline. I mean, why are his viewers taken in by him?
I know, you're absolutely right. And I actually agree with everything wrong that can be said about Glenn Beck. I cannot imagine that Barbara, whom we all love, I cannot understand why she picked him as one of the most fascinating people, because I have no F words for him. My only words are D words, you know, despicable, dangerous, and definitely dumb. There is something about him.
And every D word in the vocabulary. But Barbara picks fascinating people not because they're good people, but because they're fascinating. I think that...
No, but that's not
she picks
fascinating.
Kate Gosselin.
You know what?
Fascinating but bad.
Yeah.
I think men should only cry when something heavy falls on them, Joel.
Yes, and maybe someday something heavy will fall on him. Let's talk about the Salahis, the crashers. They're annoying, aren't they? They were issued a subpoena yesterday.
Salahis.
Yes, they got a subpoena to appear before the House Homeland Security Committee on January 20th. Now, this is an invitation they cannot turn down.
No, they can't. My idea would be to put them on some sort of island with the balloon people and, I don't know, any of the other annoying... Maybe like a sort of a Lord of the Flies thing where they all get to kill each other with a rock eventually. Something like that.
But what should happen to them, Ariana?
You know what? I actually agree with Stephanie. I think that they should end up in jail and share a cell with the parents of the balloon boy, because all of them have distracted us. You know, they've not just asked the public, but they've also taken away major time from police efforts, Secret Service efforts, and also they need to be punished in a way that makes it clear for others who want to sort of do whatever it takes to get their 15 minutes of fame.
Okay,
so there's a price to pay.
So the top distractors are the Salahis, Tiger Woods. Let's go to that for a second. I mean, is it annoying to you all the talk about Tiger, or do you enjoy it? Because I'm having a little fun with it, I have to admit.
Well, you have to admit the more and more women there are, you're asking yourself, was he playing 9 hoes or 18 hoes? No, maybe it's 36.
Ariana, what do you think about Tiger? I don't know if I've ever asked you this.
Well, my favorite sort of response to Tiger that sums up everything is what one of the mistresses said about how she felt betrayed because she thought she was the only mistress. And Stephen Colbert's line about the fact that he violated the sacred contract between one husband, one wife, and one mistress is really the problem with Tiger
I know
Woods.
it's true. It's sort of sad, isn't it?
But, Joy, you've been saying it. What's with these guys? Like, how stupid do you have to be? Like the message on the machine. Hi, it's Tiger Woods. You know, the famous golfer. This isn't being recorded, is it?
I know. It's just unbelievable.
It's
Stephanie,
like Elliot Spitzer when he like signed should I just sign the giant check, Governor of New York? No one will notice that.
And for a smart guy, I mean, we don't know how smart Tiger is, but we know Spitzer was a bright guy. But they, at the end of the day, you know what they say? When Mr. Happy gets big, the brain gets small. Something like that. Stephanie, thank you, guys. Coming up, plastic surgery for kids. That's the next topic. Yeah.